Hi, welcome to the Magical Living Open House. I'm Patricia Tallman. I'll be your host today, and our special guest is Jennifer Glass. I am really thrilled to have Jennifer here because we're going to learn a little bit about so many different things. Jennifer is an award-winning business growth architect, a best-selling author, speaker, TV show producer, and the CEO of Business Growth Strategies International, the only company to offer business growth coaching along with review management and marketing service designed to increase a company's bottom line. I think I need your help. Jennifer works with SMBs to help them find the money they are leaving on the table. Oh, that's so valuable. She's the author of multiple works, which we're going to talk about, including her It's the Bottom Line That Matters series. So let's start with that, Jennifer. Thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
So tell me about your series and that's what's behind you on the wall there?
Yes, so I have written several different books. You see behind me some of my books. It is all about how you can really use a lot of marketing tactics to really generate the kind of results you're looking for, but without throwing out your entire bank account to getting the results that you're looking for. I mean, way too many of us here advertise on Facebook, advertise on Google. You got to be on TikTok, you got to be on Instagram, you got to be on Facebook, you got to be all over the place. And by the time you know it, you're exhausted just from even doing that,
Oh, for sure. And
let
you're
alone everything
hiring
else.
somebody to help you. And so you're spending money in that way. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So what we did with the books and with this book, we just list the top eight different strategies you can use or tactics you can use in lead generation. And in this book, it's all about using digital marketing tactics to help you again do the same thing to get the leads that businesses are looking for. And at the end of the day, that's what we all need.
When you talk about getting the leads, so one of the gold nuggets I learned was that we're qualifying those leads as we bring them in. So your lead magnet, whatever it is you're getting them to sign up for example, that has to do with what it is you want them to buy. So they're already like pre-qualified. So you know that you've got an audience that actually is going to want what it is you have to sell.
Right.
Right? That's the
Yes. Although, if
Go
I
ahead.
can, part of it is also based on the landing page that you drive people to.
Interesting.
Part of the problem that too many business owners have is that when we put content out there, we just say,
Hmm.
go to my homepage. But if I
Hmm.
go to the homepage, I have everything that you do on the homepage.
Hmm.
So what you're asking me as a consumer then to do, and I say consumer as a B2B or B2C or whatever kind of thing we're talking about, but if as a consumer, I'm being asked to figure out, well, which one do I really fit under? What product is going to be best for me or service is going to be best for me? But if you send me to a landing page that is specifically geared to what I care about,
Hmm.
here's an example. Child psychologists,
Hmm.
right? They can talk about a whole bunch of things. They can talk about depression, they can talk about eating disorders, they can talk about teen pregnancy, they can talk about um, laziness, ADHD, all sorts of different things. But if my problem is that my kid is belligerent and they're screaming, do I care about everything else?
Hmm.
But if you send me to a page that specifically says, stop the belligerent and screaming in your house and have a quiet house in as little as 60
Hmm.
seconds, yes, that is what I want.
Yeah,
But
right,
see, that's
right.
the difference when you're
I
already
want
sending
that.
it right there.
You're
And so,
so specific.
exactly.
Wow.
And so the lead magnet is a back burner piece
Hmm.
because I'm already sending you exactly where you want to be. So I'm giving you the result you're looking for. I'm not giving you the how, I'm giving you the what. So if I'm telling you, as an
Right.
example, the child psychologist, they're going to be giving you a series of 60-second emails that you can get that basically talk to a couple of things you can do. And in those emails, the therapist also says, and let's have a consultation to see how we can help your household really improve.
What jumped out for me is the idea that you must know your ideal client really well because you are so specific about their pain point, about what it is they need help with. Because I can't even get
Exactly.
to the, I mean, I can't even think about anything else until I get this kid to stop screaming. I can't address all my other things that I wanted to, so help them right where they're at. And that's really wonderful. Then you really are in
Exactly.
a service and you're helping people improve their lives and be able to then start to go forward on their other dreams. You say, oh, that's
Exactly.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Exactly.
So that's what your book series is about. You're helping people understand these things, the techniques to.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I need your books. Uh, that would be really great. And you said you're a TV show producer. Can I just, because of my background, I'm just curious. Can you talk a little more about that?
Absolutely. So I know your history being the stunt woman and other things that you were doing. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Um, you know, but I'm definitely not as cool as that. But in terms of what I am a producer of, it's a TV show called America's Real Deal. And for those that know Shark Tank or Dragon's Den, shows like that, it is a similar show in the sense that businesses come on and they're seeking funding. And we help businesses get access to the capital. But instead of pitching the judges like you do on Shark's Tank or Dragon's Den, you're actually pitching our icons that are in our studio, as well as the American public, to get equity crowdfunding investments in the business. So we're the only equity crowdfunding platform that helps businesses raise money through the use of a TV show. And we have had quite a few really great stories on the show. And our second episode, our second season is going to be dropping pretty soon. We're just working out with the networks exactly where it's going to be and going from there. But last year we were on Fox Business. So, really cool experience. And I love being involved in that and helping businesses get the access to capital.
How, what are you looking for in a business that wants to be on your show?
So
What
in
kind
order to
of,
get on that show, they have
mhm.
to be doing at least $1 million a year in revenue. And they want to obviously then be taken public because that's what we do. We take them
Mhm.
public on the independent stock market. That is a sister company to America's Real Deal. And basically, what we're doing there is every filing with the SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, is being put out there, just like you would if you were listing on the NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange or any other exchange. You're getting the exact same thing on the ISM, the independent stock market, which allows us to take the business public. So that means we're giving shares and all of that to the people that are actually buying the investment in the company. And so when they do that, they get the mentors behind the scenes to help them continue
Right.
growing. There's a lot of incredible value there. And if anyone does want to get more information, definitely just reach out to me and I'd be happy to answer how to go about that process.
I bet you'll get some. I bet you'll get some. We'll make sure all of that will be in the show notes, kids. We'll have it all in the show notes, how you get in touch
Yes,
with
thank you.
Jennifer. Yeah, because that's a dream a lot of people have, and they have no idea how to take the next step, or they're not clear about it. It seems too daunting. So I love talking about when you have a goal and trying to get to that goal, you come up against a lot of walls. But the walls are just kind of showing you what you don't know yet. We all have, you are, otherwise you'd already have that goal, right? If there were no barriers, you would have made it already. So there's going to be stuff you need to learn. And what you're offering people is a way to learn that, not only with your book series, but with this TV show idea, which is amazing.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. What else would you like to talk about and let our
So
audience know about?
I think the biggest thing is, you know, for all of us who are into sci-fi, into fantasy, things like that. And I know all y'all that are listening to this are probably really into that kind of thing too. And think about Star Wars. And to borrow a concept from there, there's the Force that kind of controls everything, right? Think about
Yeah.
what your force is that you are doing. You can be a force for good, you can be a force for positivity, you can be a force for whatever it may be, but there's that power around us, and that's the community. When we think about business
Mm.
as a community, when we think about what it is that we're trying to do and really helping people up level what they do, there's so much more value in terms of that. And then you have good versus bad, right? And I'm not saying that advertising and putting money into pay-per-clicks and things like that is going to be Darth Vader, and doing other things is going to be Luke Skywalker as an example. We're not saying that. But what I am saying though is think about what all of those things can possibly mean. When the Death Star blows up, it is businesses that are not following what it is that they need to be doing in business to really be succeeding. One of the fastest ways to blow up, like the Death Star did, is by trying everything and not measuring what you're doing to see what actually is working, right? A lot of
Right.
us start just saying, I'm going to grab this idea and I'm going to grab this idea, this idea, this idea, and I'm going to throw everything at all of these at once. The problem is, if you do that, which one worked, which one didn't, because you don't have a way to really see what you were doing. Just like the X-fighters that were flying in, trying to get to the goal of just blowing it up.
Yeah.
Which one actually did, right? Was it me? Was it you? If you think about not to, bring in the downside, but the executioners, right? You
Right.
never know which one actually flips the switch or pushes the button. There's multiple people. And so, what is the strategy that's going to work? What is the avenue that's going to make the most success? And that is figuring out, let's do one thing at a time, get it, see what it does, try and improve a little bit. And if it doesn't work, move on. What I always say to my clients, have 7 different strategies for every goal
Wow.
that you want to accomplish, because one of the hardest things that we have is we go way too far past the point where we should have stopped because we don't know what else to do.
Oh,
But if we have
wow.
7 strategies already in the beginning, I want to get to $1 million a year in revenue. So I'm going to put down 7 different ways that I'm going to do that. And if option A doesn't work, then I pivot to option B so much quicker. I don't have to go back to the drawing board. I just move on to the next one. So again, same idea. Just like the rebellion was looking at all of those to
Hmm.
blow up the Death Star, they had a whole bunch of different plans. This is the way that we have to keep moving forward in our own businesses as well, so that we really figure out exactly which way we go, and then we can see that kind of success.
There's that's really pinging for me because I think one of the things that happens when you start your own business is something that you love and you're passionate about. Sometimes we start businesses because it's a practical thing and you see a gap in the market and you know you could fill it. But there's times when it's your dream thing. And when it's your dream thing, you have a way you think it needs to go. But the facts are, and Jennifer, you just highlighted it so well. The facts are sometimes what you think you want it to work like is not the way that is going to bring you what you need. It's not going to bring you the people, it's not going to bring you the income. So being willing to pivot, like you said, is really powerful, even if it means you feel like you have to give up your baby for a while. Maybe, but I want to serve everybody, but you can't. You're going to have to pull in and focus. And eventually you can serve more people in a different way. But you need to, first of all, realize you need to hit these numbers. You need to measure your success. And if it's not getting there, then you need to pivot something. And that could mean giving up your favorite thing for a while. That's a really good point. And one I need
Absolutely.
to
Thank you.
take.
Thank you. You know, One thing I will say, I keep a little figurine of Mickey Mouse,
Oh,
right on my desk. Aside from the fact I love Mickey, he's my favorite character in the whole world. The reason that I keep Mickey Mouse on my desk is because of the ideas. If you go back to what Walt Disney did in the very start, right? He innovated so many different products, and the way that we even look at movies today
mm,
was completely innovated by Walt Disney. If you think about Steamboat Willie, before Steamboat Willie came out, there was no cartoon with sound, right?
amazing.
his idea was to get sound on the same film strip even. And he came up with the idea of using a metronome in order to get the orchestra to play the beat at the same time it was supposed to go. Think
Wow.
about what that means to all the animated films that are out today and everything
Yeah.
else that is out today. That's just one example. But you look at everything that he has done and the way that he did it, and that's why I keep this on my desk because I go back to what did Disney do? How did he keep on innovating? Even after he innovated, he made more innovations. He changed
Hmm.
the entire rules. And the one thing that you need to remember is if you're not innovating and putting your own business or your own product out of business, someone else is.
That's right.
Someone else is a step ahead of you.
That's
And
right.
if you're just stuck where you are, look what happened to Blockbuster, what happened to the taxis, what happened to Kodak. Other people are going to be looking and capitalizing on what you're doing. And that's why those 7 strategies to get the goal is even more important too.
That's another really important thing is that if you're successful, there are going to be people who knock you off. It's just going to happen. They're going to, and you're not going to be able to chase down and protect everything. It's just, you just can't. So you
Right.
need to know that you need to keep going forward or somehow make yourself unique. When the age of AI, everything could be kind of recreated except you, except for Jennifer. She's very specific and we're very specific. So our personal presence means a lot. And if you're creating a product, just know eventually people are, if it's successful and pretty good, someone's going to rip you off. It's just the way it goes. So that what that does for me, Jennifer, is it helps me to keep trying to think of the next thing. Because all right, now somebody's doing what I used to do 3 businesses ago. They tried it. They didn't do it as well, but they tried. And so I've already moved on. I'm already way past that. So none of that bothers me. They're in my dust. And that's what I think innovation's all about. And today things move so fast, so fast. And now with AI, it's going to go even faster. So don't get too entrenched in your one big beautiful dream. Once it gets going, it's going to need to grow. It's going to need to have legs, and you'll get to do all these other things that you really want to do.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, like you said, Disney's a great example because he started off with this black and white sketch with some whistling and some toot toots. And
Yes,
before you know it, here we are. Even though he's passed on, his dream has moved on. Yeah. Oh, I wish that for everybody. I wish that we all could have that kind of a feeling where you look back and you say, I left something behind and it changed. It changed the way people are doing things. It changed people's lives. It helped them have a better outcome, whatever it might be.
exactly.
Mm-mm.
I'm a very strong believer in Judaism. There's a concept called tikkun olam, which means to fix the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I am a very strong believer in doing that, that we leave the world in a better place than we found it. If it's a small thing that you made a difference on one person's life, or you made an impact on humanity,
Wow.
anything that you do, you don't know what that one person's life, 2, 3, 4 generations down the road might be like because you had that impact. And I look at that even just simple things like in the supermarket, saying good morning, good afternoon, thank you to the cashier, to the people that are getting the the carts in the parking lot, all of that. It all makes a difference. If we understand that these people may have had the worst day and we just come and we say thank you, have a nice day.
Mm,
I'm not invisible anymore, right? I
right.
mean, because those are invisible jobs.
Right.
Nobody thinks about them. They don't care about them. It's raining outside. I just want to get in my car and get out of there. But if you say thank you so much, have a nice day, anything, they are seen and that can brighten up their world significantly. And that can really make a huge difference when they go home and everything else. And that one simple act of kindness can have a huge rolling impact on everything else too.
Then just apply that to your business. I mean, you can apply it to going to the store and or when you text a friend just to check in, but you can also apply it to your business. And
Exactly.
you're doing that already, Jennifer. You're doing that with what you're doing. And so your scan me, that is, what are we doing with your QR code? What
So
does that lead us
that
to?
goes right into my calendar booking system.
Okay,
And for anyone that does want to schedule a time to talk with me, you can definitely do that. Or else Patricia will have all of my links in the descriptions that all y'all can reach out, connect, and we'll go from there.
perfect.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you so much, Jennifer, for being here. I'm really honored to have you as my guest, and I look forward to reading your books and getting to know you even better.
I appreciate you, Patricia. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. And you'll be able to go down and read the show notes and get in touch with Jennifer when you're ready. Thank you so much for being here.